Sometimes you can race and put enough pressure on to get them, but a lot of times you have slow starts with Shaman, and it's just not possible.
Right. Shaman wants to get as much consistent pressure on the board as they can throughout the early turns and have ways to stop a Doomsayer or something like that from swinging it back around. And now this style of freeze that he has both Loot Order, he has obviously this Mad Scientist here. This helps fight for the early board a lot better than they used to be able to do.
We've got two really late-game cards in both players' hand. Archmage Antonidas for the Freeze Mage and Alakir the Windlord for the Shaman. It's going to sit there for a long time.
Yeah, and I would say that it's like the Archmage Antonidas is almost completely unneeded in this matchup. That's like for a little bit of extra reach against classes that are going to heal a bit more.
Right.
Here it's like, I mean, he could play it, he could not play it. He's not going to run out of burn to finish the game, most likely. So it's not too important of a card, I don't think.
Well, what it might do, though, is give him some leeway to use the burn spells that are in his hand as removal if he finds that he needs to.
Good point.
So that is something that every now and then you're like, oh, can I use this burn spell? Can't I? And you end up holding on to it because you know you need it to win. And Archmage Antonidas can give you a different way to sort of refill on that win condition. Those burn spells.
Yeah, that's quite a good point. This actually makes me think, because I love Archmage Antonidas. Like,
Yep.
This is one of my favorites. What is your favorite legendary reels?
My favorite is Alexstrasza.
Alexstrasza.
And my favorite has been Alexstrasza for probably forever. Before I even played the game, you know, back when there was the beta and I didn't have a beta key and I really wanted one. And I would go to like every website and enter every little contest and try to get a beta key. And
That was really rough for some people.
when I did that, I would make all of these decks on all of these, you know, fan websites and stuff with these deck builders and look at all the cards and be like, ooh, and what could I do with these? And the first deck that I ever made before I even played the game was basically Freeze Mage, built around Alexstrasza, because I thought that was the coolest card I had ever seen.
All right, and Ben Brode, what is your favorite?
You face Jaraxxus!
What is Jaraxxus? Is he like a lord or something?
Yeah. Where's he from? Like,
Yeah,
what is
yeah,
he?
like what is
what is
the
he about?
area of which he is a lord?
Oh man, I love everything about Jaraxxus.
All right, Jaraxxus is he's really cool, but I like Antonidas and I like
The flavor of Jaraxxus is so great.
what's he taste
All
like?
right. Well, this turn here is going to end up
He's
being
tasteless.
potentially a very crucial turn. And versus Shaman, a lot of the time you can't rely on Doomsayers to go off in order to win
Yeah,
the game. You need to
yeah.
find things like Blizzard and Flame Strike in order to clear out the Shaman's board. What he has is the Doomsayer.
Now, because we're going into turn 6, do you think this might be a really great play to try the Doomsayer freeze combo anyways, because that will prevent a Fire Elemental from even being played?
Well, it would prevent a Fire Elemental from being played, but the more important thing is that the Shaman does have an answer to the Doomsayer,
Yeah. Sitting
and
on
in order to keep the pressure going. And
Flame Tongue Totem and Hex, right?
yeah, well, Flame Tongue Totem,
it's not quite enough.
presumably the minions would get frozen.
Oh, of
Well, see,
course.
the reason why I kind of like the play is it buys him an entire another turn,
Oh,
which
really?
is... Oh, okay. He
That
doesn't
was
want to do that.
surprising.
Yeah, I wasn't quite expecting that, but I guess
Yeah.
he just doesn't want him to have such card selection.
Right. Well, it can be tough when they have the perfect play every turn, but I've found, at least in times when I've played Freeze Mage, when I don't have a great answer to a Manatide Totem, I just let it go. And
Yeah.
at a certain point,
Agreed.
they just overdraw,
Yeah.
and you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, especially if you're freezing, like they may just have the board too full with things like totems.
Yeah.
I agree with that, actually. I wouldn't
Ooh,
have personally
Doomsayer
done that.
number 2. So the threat of the Doomsayer going off actually has increased quite a bit, and it may work out that he took out the Manatide Totem, because now it's less likely for Rainy Hour to have an answer to both Doomsayers. So he needs to find like an Earthshock or
He does have Hex.
something like that. Well, but for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, another Doomsayer still coming.
Yeah, the end is coming,
The
unless
end
Rainy
is
Hour...
coming.
I'm actually surprised he played the totem instead of cycled the Gnomish Inventor.
Well, Gnomish also would have been a good play. I think it may have been a little bit better because he needs to continue to find answers
Yeah.
to this, but he's not expecting Freeze plus Doomsayer number 2.
Indeed.
Yeah. Do you think Freeze Mage and Miracle have some similarities that are both playing to Teray's strong suit?
Oh, and
Yeah. They're,
that's 6
Freeze
damage.
Mage is kind of like a combo deck as well. You know, you draw through your entire deck as much as you can, and you just kind of stay alive with whatever removal you can get.
Oh, and he just lets it go. So
Wow.
this is possibly really key here.
That's a huge Doomsayer.
Yeah, the Shaman has so much damage available. I would like to see Antonidas come out right now.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
but-
because there wasn't any Hex, there wasn't any Silence. That would be very
Well,
hard to remove.
He has so much damage in hand already. He's actually really close to outright killing Rainy Hour already with the cards in hand.
Yeah.
If he had 3 Fireballs,
Yeah.
that's 18 plus Frostbolt and Ice Lance is 7.
He's got 2 Ice
That's
Lances.
25 plus Ping is 26. So
Yeah, that's actually a really
if
good
he had
point.
played
What to do? What
He could
Antonidas
just-
and Ice Lance, he would have had enough damage in hand
Yeah.
to kill the Shaman.
I mean, he has-
and he would have had to deal with Antonidas.
He has 23 damage in his hand right now, right?
Well, he could
Yeah.
do something like Fireball here, and the next turn use Frostbolt and Ice Lance to freeze whatever's played, or even go to face with it and get 2 Fireballs, and that's like
Yep. So
just so
He's-
much damage.
he's realizing it too, and he's realizing how close he is to
Yeah,
being able
yeah.
to just win.
I think you're right. I think he realized that, like, oh, maybe Antonidas was a better play this turn.
Well, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know if it was a better play. I think that it was a good play. But playing the Arcane Intellect does prepare for contingency
Ooh.
a little bit better. And
Maybe that was why he didn't want to Fireball last turn.
Alex Straza is a nice one. Alex Straza actually means your opponent is just dead next
Yeah.
turn.
Next turn, right. Because that's enough mana
Yeah,
to
he
as
has
deal.
long as
double
they can't
Ice
kill you.
Lance,
Yeah, that's huge.
Frostbolt, Fireball.
Yeah, that's
There is no
I believe
healing
that
in
is
the
18
in the
damage.
Shaman deck.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Or no, it's 14. No, 14?
No, it's ping plus 11 plus 6, so 18.
Yeah, 18 damage. So Alex Straza into 18. I mean,
It's pretty good.
Hmm.
It's pretty good.
eventually he's going to count it up and he's going to realize that he's probably not dead next turn with only 6 damage showing.
Probably not.
Probably not.
You'd need some weird Wind Fury stuff.
How about Rockbiter number 2?
Oh yeah, that could have been a lot of damage.
Oh, not quite.
He's got
18 plus 6, that still would not have been enough.
yeah, and this,
Even that would have been 24.
he's not playing to win this turn. He's playing to stay alive, but he doesn't realize that his opponent has
chance.
lethal damage in his hand.
Yep.
It is unstoppable at this point.
In fact, the fact that he got fireballed and then Alex Straza, I bet he's looking and being like, oh, I might just be dead here. Whenever you see a fireball just go to your face when you haven't been Alex Straza, you have to wonder
Yep.
how much damage is in that hand. Especially when he hasn't developed a single secret and has barely played any draw cards.
He got a secret earlier.
Yeah, he
Off
did
the
get
Mad
one.
Scientist, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Not out of hand.
How much damage could he have dealt with Flame Tongue plus Alakir? It's 10 damage from Alakir
12 damage from Alakir.
with Flame Tongue.
Oh, with Flame Tongue, right.
Flame Tongue would be
right,
slightly
Yeah, because he
more
could have
damage,
added
the same amount. I
2
guess.
onto each of these other units as well.
It's plus 12 damage.
If
either
he
way.
had top decked Rockbiter, would that have been a win for the Shaman deck?
No, he would have had 24 damage into
Well
to raise
played.
26 health.
Oh, wow. Well, that is it.
Yeah.
Teray taking it to game 2 with the Freeze Mage.
Oh, that
Extra.
is so sick.
Extra BM.
Wow.
Well,
Frost bolts himself. Maximum self damage there, guys.
I'll give him maybe like 5 or maybe 6.
You guys are
On the
stingy
BM
with
there?
the BM points.
You're only
Oh.
giving. No,
can't-
this
you
is
think
a
that's
10
10?
in BM.
No, it's not. Absolutely not. 10 is when you the first you say GG, you start casting everything, you ice lance your face, and then you look, oh no, I messed up.
Okay.
I think that is the better choice. If the Warlock is Zoo, I actually think that Freeze Mage dominates Zoo. It's one of the best anti-Zoo
You think it's
classes.
still as good as it was? Because, some of these freeze spells, they pop the eggs and stuff. The Death Rattle Zoo, I think, does much better against Freeze Mage than the older zoos used to against Freeze Mage.
Right. Well, after Nexaramas came out,
Mhm.
Zoo with the Death Rattle minions was one of the most popular decks by far. Everyone
Yeah.
was playing the Death Rattles all over the place, and Warlock was one of the most common places to see it played in. and that was one of the best times to play Freeze Mage because it still destroyed it even with the death rattles.
What percent would you put that up?
Maybe 70-30.
No.
Yeah, easily.
I can't get on board with 70-30 on
No.
that matchup.
Even
Can't do
Oh
it.
yeah.
with
Mage
charge
against
minions,
Warrior
with
is not a 70-30.
No. Warlock.
I know. I'm
Warlock's
just saying
new.
one of the most terrible matchups in the game. Mage against
So-
Warrior is favored.
so-
I still don't think it's even 70-30.
At this level of play, at the higher echelons of play,
Sure.
Freeze Mage against Warrior, especially if you don't have Antonidas, which a lot of the time they didn't, is probably about 95-5
Wow.
in favor of the Warrior.
Incredible.
I absolutely believe that. I have played.
I think Warrior versus Freeze Mage is insane, but I don't think that you're right about your crazy stats against it. I don't think so. I think it's not that bad.
Well, we may
Well-
get to see that matchup if
But,
Freeze Mage wins
yeah.
this game.
Well,
Yeah, well, that's possible.
we just saw something crazy good, which was a double draw off of these Northshire clerics, and we can actually see that again.
We might.
Yeah.
He could just let one of his Northshires go down
I mean,
to
we
one
could
health.
see
That's
a
not so bad. Especially after
Quadruple draw if he goes in with both of these clerics against that 2-1.
Oh.
and a Circle of Healing. Well, I doubt
yeah, I don't know
he'll
he's gonna
go
do
that deep.
yeah, no, that's a bit beyond what you want to do. The thing is, even if he pings this at this point, it doesn't even matter. It's like, whatever. He's drawn so many cards.
Right, absolutely. He's pretty set up about as well as he can with filling up his hand as quickly as possible. And now the onus is really on Teray to find a way to break through basically Rainy Hour's best play every turn.
Yeah, he's going to be able to choose to do anything.
When you draw Pyroblast as Freeze Mage, does the knowledge that you definitely have at this game change the way you play?
It's a little different than Alexstrasza. Alexstrasza is something that is really critical to draw, especially against a priest. So the Pyroblast doesn't change it as much. There are other matchups where you say, oh, okay, I have Pyroblast, and so now I don't need to wait until I get Alexstrasza to start throwing Burn at their face.
I must consider.
So you have to kill the Doomsayer here, right? It's 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, that's really gross to even try.
You can do it.
Yeah, probably with the... but you'd have to lose your Pyro, right? No, you could heal him. No, wait, you're one
also
mana
have
off.
Power Word Shield.
Right away.
Yeah, but with the Power Word Shield... Oh, if you put it on him, yeah. Okay, you let this Northshire die, yeah. Okay, that works.
Right.
That's good.
So you attack in the Northshire first.
Yeah.
You don't really need any more cards from it.
No, that's totally true. May as well see what you get. Ooh, Ice Lance.
Probably one of the cards he didn't want to get. Thoughtsteal is... Ooh, and he gets another Thoughtsteal. So Thoughtsteal is one of the cards that can swing this
Oh,
matchup
yeah.
really, really quickly.
You get an Ice Block, it's insane.
Oh, wow.
Yep. When the mage gets enough time, the control priest decks, a lot of the
Oh,
time,
how
they
funny.
aren't...
He just wants to get that card out of his hand, even at the cost of his own
Yeah.
1-1.
Yeah.
You think he realized he was going to lose that 1-1?
I think not just that, because now he might even lose this 3-1, but there are cards in his deck that are so important. Like, if he has Holy Fire in there and it's the next go, that's terrible for
Yep.
you, because you need that life swing after an Alexstrasza.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to burn anything really critical away.
I mean,
And-
at this point, why not have just let the Doomsayer have his way? He lost all of his minions anyway.
You know what? That's actually a good point.
Unless he miscalculated
Could even
the
front-loaded
Ice
more
Lance.
damage. Like,
It's so rare you play Ice Lance as a priest. Maybe you forget that the Pyromancer's still there.
yeah,
Can't tell you how many times I forget that I have that guy and
Yeah.
I wipe my own board.
I get you on that one. I feel the same pain.
Well, these are some giant, giant monsters for Rainy Hour, but Double Blizzard is going to hold them at bay for quite a while,
Yeah.
and anything else he can manage to play.
Double Blizzard in the hand, double Blizzard on the couch.
Hey.
Marketing!
Whoa! Nice, nice. Best card.
Oh, is he
Oh,
going to make
he's-
him overdraw?
Trying to overdraw him.
Oh, Antonidas!
Wow.
That's crazy.
Well, that's a way to be able to get damage in without having to attack.
Yeah,
Yeah, freeze my Antonidas, please. I don't mind.
that's crazy. Oh, he got rid of the Frost Nova.
Well, if it had been the other way around and
Yeah.
Alex Strauss
Yeah.
got first play, the game may have ended right there.
Yeah.
So the good news for Teray is that he does have Alex Straza in hand ready to go, and quite a bit of burn ready as well, behind an ice block. But
Oh, here comes the Antonidas.
but
Oh my
Antonidas
God!
the
is
What a
silence.
play!
Such
Two
a problem.
fireballs.
Wow.
Crazy. Greeny Hour really fighting in this game, man. This is looking
Yeah.
great for him.
Oh, those Thought Steals, man.
Yeah.
Thought Steal against Freeze Mage.
Because he's even... Oh, man. He's never even going to run out of cards. He's drawn so much this game.
I mean, what do you have to do? Do you have to get rid of this Antonidas right now?
Okay, he has Ice Block up. If he goes Alex Straza, his opponent here, how
Yep.
much can you do next turn? You can go 10.
He has the
His
coin.
opponent can go up to 17. He has a Frostbolt, Ice Lance.
He can do 13, at least.
Okay, he actually, if he doesn't get popped next turn, but
He's got the
does
coin,
he get
too.
popped? Because it's double fireball, so it's 12, 17, 21, 25. Ah, this is...
But that would be his opponent leaving his Alex Straza alive.
What to do?
That is true.
So
that is
maybe
true.
you
but
have
if
to do
he has
it.
Shadow Word Death, you're in real
And
trouble.
The longer you leave that Antonidas in play, I think I would have liked the.
Wow.
Oh, okay. So he is going to just make sure he kills it off. So
Okay, but
still pretty reasonable.
He's got no way
Yeah.
to freeze the enemy hero now to get
If-
that Ice Lance off, though.
but
until he draws
actually at
another Frostbolt.
21, if he thinks that, oh wait, yeah, there's not any other damage that would have been in hand. He actually could have been at 1 if he had just Ice Lanced that after playing Alex Straza. Because then not both fireballs could have been played if he wants to kill Alex Straza. I actually think this was a misplay. Because if you Alex
By
Alex
Teray?
Straza, if you went Alex Straza, oh wait, no, he didn't have the mana. Never mind, I'm crazy.
Well, I think it would have
He had
been
the coin.
Would have been great. Well, he could have
But
coined
he
out
couldn't
Alex
have
Straza.
frozen anything, so he would have been popped no matter what.
Right.
Well, but then his Alex Straza lives.
Yeah.
If his Alex Straza lives, he kills
Yeah,
his
he
opponent.
does. But
Wow.
oh god, yeah, this is what
When
a
there
weird.
are this many cards in your hand, it is so complicated.
Yeah.
Oh, if he plays Alex Strauss, it could get stolen, but I mean, as we know, he's going to have Pyroblast next turn and Fireball the turn after that.
Yeah, the risk is that the opponent's board will grow very quickly. And if you're going to have a turn where you're not freezing your opponent's minions and hoping your ice block survives, it's this one. So any turn beyond this,
Yeah.
it's very tempting to go Ice Barrier, Arcane Int, or Blizzard, Arcane Int, or Blizzard, Ice Barrier, and
Wow, he just halves the health of that Priest player.
you just got to get it done.
Ooh, Mind Control.
Well, that means you're not healing yourself.
That's true.
Yeah. He does need to heal, man. There are. Wait, he saw one Frostbolt, so he knows that still there can be a ton of damage coming in.
Yep. And he's seen the Frostbolt go. Unfortunately, he's holding double Ice Lance without a Frostbolt now.
This matchup is so complicated. You have to do
Yeah.
so much math.
It is.
Yeah.
This is one of the most difficult matchups to navigate from both sides.
Yeah,
There are so many options the whole time.
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy. Now this, he just has to heal up. Hit that, heal up.
Oh. He
Okay,
steals
that's fine, that's
the
fine.
Alex Strauss.
Sure.
And
And-
it
goes
is
for
better
some
than
more
5/7,
damage.
and you're not going to use that on anything else,
Right.
aside from Antonidas.
That makes sense.
Yep. And something like Heal and Dark Cultist, these are all options. This will probably prompt the all-in from Teray. The all-in being, of course, the Pyroblast.
Pyroblast, yeah.
And
he's got,
I think he has to heal himself. I think
he's got a
anything else
ton
doesn't
of
make
damage
sense.
next turn,
But
right?
Yeah.
he
He's
doesn't
got
have...
He's got Pyroblast for 10, and then he can
My
deal
magic
8 with
will
the
tear you apart.
with Fireball and the 2 Ice Lances.
Well, that's 10, plus ping is 11. So if his opponent can't heal beyond just his hero power, he'll have 11 damage next turn.
He
basically has to have
He
Holy
has
Fire.
a freeze here. He knows that there's 2 fireballs, but that's not enough damage still. Even like with 10 mana, there's really no way unless he's playing Mind Blast.
What
Sorry to bring that
do?
card up, Reels, but
What?
if he's playing Mind Blast,
Sure.
But he knows he's not going to be. So I think you actually freeze here, and just do some of your damage.
So the longer you freeze,
the more he heals.
the more they heal.
Yeah.
Exactly. The longer you let the game go after you Alex Straza, the more burn you need to find
The thing is,
in
if
order
he
to
can
win.
find
And
an
you theoretically
Frostbolt's
have the
huge.
win right now.
Yeah, if he had Pyroblasted, and he could still
He can still do it
he could
right
still
now.
Fireball and double Ice Lance his opponents,
Right now.
get him to
9.
9, and then but then 10 mana doesn't
Right.
close it
So
out.
he needed to play the Pyro so he
Right.
could ping.
Yep.
Of course, he would if he had done that, he would lose to something by using the Ice Lances inefficiently. He's saying, okay, well,
That's right. Yeah, and he's maybe scared of Holy Fire, which is he
The
assumes
Frostbolt
in
is
that
so
deck.
important.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah, definitely could be.
the only burn spells in his deck, he has one more Fireball, one more. Oh, and he would have drawn the Holy Nova to stay alive.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
So the all-in
huge.
would have been
Yep,
unsuccessful.
so he pulled the right play to Ray. So experienced with this deck.
Well, still definitely not out of this. There's like, look, he can clear this. He can, but as the health goes up, this gets worse and worse.
Right. The 2 versus 1 is usually not where you want to be.
Well, even if he draws a Frostbolt, that's still a ton of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is still doable. If he clears this right out, like, ooh, that'll be good later on.
That is good after you see the first half of this gambit. You can delay the second half another turn.
Well, he doesn't have anything really great. I mean,
No, certainly not.
he doesn't. Silence would be the best answer here.
Yeah.
But he already used it earlier in the game.
Would you consider stealing that because Cabal is so worthless? Steal that, heal yourself, and that would stay until the next turn, right? So he couldn't do something like Antonidas.
Oh wow, he's going to use Circle.
Wow. Was not expecting this.
So he uses Fireball and Circle in order
Okay.
to
That's actually
get rid of it.
Yeah, that's way better. Dumb idea.
No, and he gets the
Oh,
Frostbolt.
there
So
it is. This Lothar is
this
going to be
may-
really important.
this may prompt
Yeah.
the all-in because Pyroblast is 10, and as we know, the full suite of Fireball, Frostbolt, Ice Lance, as we calculated last game, is 18.
So
That's
even if he
28
heals,
damage.
Yeah.
It would be Holy Fire or Bust.
yes, he has to draw Holy Fire next turn.
No, he's
if
got
this is the case.
Lothar. He can
And-
stay.
Oh, he's got
Whoa!
Lothar.
You know what? That is true. He can do that, but he cannot heal at all because of this Auchenai.
Oh, right.
And so the ice block will remain, and he will not be healing. Even if he draws the other one, he has to use like
Well,
mana
here he
on
goes.
himself.
He's definitely showing that he's ready to kill off his opponent.
Well, it looks like this means you might want a Frost Nova, and this actually
Oh,
is pretty sneaky.
yeah, it is.
He's going to have to kill off his own Auchenai to heal,
Yeah.
and he preserves his Ice Block.
Right.
He is so protected with both secrets.
Wow.
You cannot heal out of Pyroblast range.
Such a difficult matchup.
He needs to kill his own. He can Lothar. That's
Yep, he has to Lothar.
Will he kill his own? I don't think so.
Guy.
Yeah, he's just going for it, and that means he's dead.
Oh, that. Yep. Well,
It doesn't matter either way.
in this case, he does live a turn.
yes. He's still alive.
Yeah, that's true.
I wonder if he'll Fireball here. Ooh.
You could Fireball the Alexstrasza.
Well,
but,
if you fireball,
but you're still
you
out of
can't
range.
ping with it. Yeah.
Well, but it still makes sure
Still,
that
the Holy Fire
Holy
brings him
Fire or Bust.
out. Let's see it.
Oh,
Let's
he
see
needs
it.
to
Holy
get it.
Fire.
Oh,
That's
Shadow
not Holy
definitely
Fire.
knows.
Oh, he's got to know that this is not going to end well.
The way it has been set up all game, he's probably assuming that his opponent has a Fireball or Pyroblast
Yeah.
in hand. And indeed he does. So, 2 games straight
Wow.
going to be going to the
Hooray.
Freeze Mage deck.
Wow.
And now it's going to be Warlock
My fate is
against Freeze Mage, which is pretty much the nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, it's this was a better matchup.
I will.
Wow, that was a great game. Hey, Fireball for the win?
Just a
Not
tiny
so
misplay
fast.
here.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to end up mattering, but
Could've
should
got
have
him
hit
to
with the
3.
fireball first. Yeah, get him down to 3. It's obviously going to be a bit better.
Well, but irrelevant is irrelevant. He saw the writing on the wall. You saw it on his face earlier, and
Well played.
Pyroblast comes in. Oh, the big ball of fire.
GG. Teray takes it.
Wow. Really well played there by Teray, showing us he is a master of Freeze Mage. Some very hard turns there, and still, I think he navigated it just so well.
Do you think
Yep.
Teray was disappointed he had to close out the game with Pyroblast, leaving no mana left for BM?
That I think for Teray that could be an issue, actually. Breeding Hour, on the other hand, probably thankful for that. Doesn't want his feelings hurt anymore. And having to go into Warlock, I would say, in my opinion, Zoo...
Bit a little bit by it, and when you bring Freeze Mage, when Warrior shows up, sometimes you got to get rid of it. And pretty reasonable start.
Yeah.
The Twilight Drakes are quite good. They can be really sticky, really difficult to remove. The high health there. And I guess that's really all he's got for now, though.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? That's about as good as you can go for. Hellfire is like a card you don't want to see in your hand right now, but definitely a card that can get through freezes to deal those few extra points of damage when you need them.
And
Hellfire
Shadow
can get
Flame
there.
is not a great card in this matchup, right?
No, it's
No, not at all.
doesn't really do anything, I think.
Iron Beak
Mountain
Owl
Giant
is a great card.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of those are fantastic. Iron Beak Owl has the dual benefit of being able to silence a Doomsayer or unlock your Mountain Giants when they're
Right.
frozen.
Now, I do want to say about the hand that Trey has. It's like not terrible, but Flame Strike is one of the last cards that I want to see. Really, it's so clunky. It doesn't actually clear the board like in every other matchup. So
Yeah.
kind of a card you don't really want to draw.
Ah. Interesting that he's chosen to go with the Twilight Drake first. Oftentimes you want to get the Giant out as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
But he's probably figuring if his opponent has a Fireball, and he does, now would be the time that they might be willing to use it as removal.
Mhm.
Usually you want to save it for damage to the face.
You know, by removing that
Yeah.
2/1,
Now
it
he
does
gets rid of
bring the Giant out of Fireball range.
Exactly. So
very
now
nice.
he's
Yeah.
protecting his Giant. Very well done by Rainy Hour.
This is the crazy thing about playing Warlock against Freeze Mages. The Warlock's already a third dead. A lot of the work that Trey is trying to do has already been done for him.
That's true.
Yeah,
Alex
that's true.
Straza, you may be using more likely for your own healing than dealing it to them.
Yep. And he gives up the opportunity cost Trey does on his hero power. And by doing so, he gets to save, though, the Frost Novas, which are much better later in the game because they're cheaper. You can play other spells at the same time as the Frost Novas.
Well, he did use that owl to unfreeze his Giant.
Yeah.
Right?
Good thing there's 2 Frost Novas right here.
Man, you really want Wailing Soul right now.
Yes, you do.
Wailing Soul, the anti-Freeze Mage tech, maybe.
That's
of
a
the
fact.
future. I don't think Freeze Mage is going to come back big enough to warrant the Wailing Soul anti-freeze tech. But
It was played
knows?
by, what, Hyped last weekend?
it was.
Yeah, so, hey.
There you go.
It's finally been in a tournament deck. I was waiting.
Yeah, we do see it come up every now and then. It is a reasonable metagame counter to certain things. It obviously has more sharp counters of its own against it, so that makes it a bit tough.
Looking at this, man, that was a dangerous Lotheb.
It is really scary.
get
There's so
popped?
much damage.
10, 18, 23.
Yeah, that's a huge amount of damage.
That is so much damage.
That Lotheb worked out great.
I don't think he's going to get popped next turn.
He has 12 that we see right now in hand. Yeah, no, he doesn't quite get popped yet, but
Well, he still has a lot of cards he can draw, a lot of freeze theoretically.
and he still has this coin too, which actually definitely could come into play because he can
Okay.
do something like fireball, coin, ice block in a turn. So that's
Right.
I'm not saying that's going to happen, but definitely is a possibility.
Well, he taps so he could look for the win, but it does get him closer to dying.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
And that will also prompt him to take out the Blood Mage as well. Oh, and a Frostbolt drawn too.
That
Wow.
Frostbolt's so important.
And he has an Ice Block, so...
Double Frostbolt. Oh my god, that's 12, 15 plus another 7. That's lethal right there.
This turn?
Well,
No,
it's
not,
not
this turn. Not this turn. And he
And-
does have some heal, right? Yes.
There's the opportunity to heal up, but that's really all there is.
He's got the Earth and Ring Farseer in his hand, and he's got a Iron Beak Owl to unfreeze a guy, but
How much burn do you do right now? Because if he has Draxus, that can change everything.
Right.
I hope he does.
Oh.
Being at 13, I think the safest thing you can do would be to Frost Nova and Fireball. This would mean that you can still play a lot of your spells next turn. In fact, with the...
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So that would sort of set it up if they do have
If they have
any
Draxus, you can
heals,
still
they
kill
only go to-
him, and yeah.
Draxus, they go to
I like
15.
it. I think you're right.
Earthen Ring or something like that. Siphon Soul, they only go to 16, and it still sets you up to potentially win next turn.
That's great. That's what I want to see here.
Is there any way that Rini Hour, if he gets frozen, can pop that first ice block next turn?
Without Wailing Soul, no.
He's got the Owl and Hellfire.
Yeah, that's 11. So I guess if he draws a Soulfire, he could. Yeah, he could pop it. That's a good point. Those Owls, man, MVPs.
Runs out on me.
Well, I really like the freeze fireball plan. You have 16 damage ready to go, so as far as you know, one heal spell is not good enough,
Oh, wow.
and he's going to ping as well. He doesn't need to do it, but he can. It's
Okay.
still fine.
Hey, that makes
We need a great draw here from Rini Hour to stay in this game.
Draxus would be.
Yep, 9 mana worth of burn spells in his hand, representing 16 damage.
That's it.
He has to life tap into Earthen Ring Farseer number 2.
Is that even...
To live at 1 life. That is
Wow.
the only answer.
Do you think he... I mean...
And if he were to do it, no, now his board's full. He's committed, and that
That's
means it is going to be
Teray
If-
3-0.
Teray if he counts it up, and it looks like, yep, well played. He knows that he's got it.
Just fantastic
Rainy
play
Hour.
by Trey here.
Oh, wow. Another player gets...
Hello! Hello at the end.
Yep.
Hello, and then a threat after he eliminates Rini Hour from a tournament that Rini Hour had to fly across
Yep.
an ocean for. That's pretty good BM there.
Well, I was impressed with Rainy Hour's play of all of what I've seen of him in previous tournaments, and I liked the decks that he brought to this one. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to carry him through.